show. Heads are turning one by one. What have you done? Matawaka got me yearning. A bonfire trance got me drumming. Sun is rising. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in.
I can bring you a mind. I like the way you do it. Love is the only true remedy. I open up to it and I receive it. I am me. I am everything. Skimming lines.
It's my call out. Pocahontas, you think I'm local. You think I'm crazy. Matawaka, Pocahontas. Heads are turning one by one. What have you done? Matawaka, Pocahontas. Purple goddess. Got me wearing crystals. You think I'm loco. Maybe un poco. Heads are burning one by one. It is fun. Abracadabra. Inside my chakra. Sit down for a while. Meditate. You fly high. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice. Heads are burning one by one. It's fun.
Polka got mad flow. My rhythm tight, so I stretch like the trees grow.
What?
It's a Matawaka fire show.
We let it burn. If you were triggered, then you must go. The polka no bad beat. My whip kindness, I kill him with the LOV. Yeah. It's a Matawaka fire show. We let it burn in the night. It's my call, y'all.
No watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. Need no middleman, I'm the man to man, send it in. I like what I like, me, I know my rights is sipping in. I like having fun, I do what I want, it's what it is. For my son and son, for my daughters, yeah, it's for my twin. I work through the night, I do what I like, get a check, I go for the ride. I've been down a ride for the win, still move on the hush, never run for none. I face my fears, I just drop a nine, month to month, still from year to year. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. I'm sporty and rich. I'm sporty and rich. I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. Get some checks, I invest, and I spend a check. Spend a check, get it back, then I take a rest. Only race is the human, I take care of my skin. I was doing this as a rookie, now I'm up to vet. Set the trend, set the pace of play. I don't trip, but if I fall, bet I make a way. I take trips in the fall, watch the leaves change. I like to treat every day like it's my B-day. New watch, no diamonds, new watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, new watch, good timing, yeah. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. Do it again, again, again. Do it again, again, again.
Rightio, and we are here, and this is game 5 of day 2 of 2 full days of Derby down here at Norlane Leisure Sports First at Norlane. This game is going to be against our western suburbs. Really?
Sure.
We have Geelong Roller Derby, who were our beautiful hosts with the mosts yesterday. They are going up against Ballarat, commonly known as the Rat Pack. And yes, we're about to get underway. I will just give the officials some official notice. We have Leo Slayer, Frankenherder, Evil Offspring, Buster Hammy, Tenacious G, Lucky, Muggles, Crystal, Lady Killerton, and Jackie Ono. Also, we have on skates Maureen, Crush, Killer Curls, Miss Cray Cray, Sociopath, Pat is here, Disaster Chief, and Slender Jam. And they will be making sure that we play nicely and keep all the rules and keep us safe, because this is like the 10th game of Derby this weekend, which is insane when you think about it. But we have Cyclo and OG lining up. All right. So OG has taken lead for the Rat Pack, followed closely by Cyclo. And I always love Cyclo shorts. They are always amazing, and they always make it easy to find in the pack.
I feel like this was very much the battle of the really cool shots. Because, I mean, not to be outdone, look at OG's shots.
Oh yeah, and basting. We were
Yeah.
commenting on basting's shorts yesterday. You know, because when we see clothes we like, we have to call it out.
We also have some love in chat already. We have win guys. Just a general win guys. So I'd love that
Yeah.
because that could be for anyone. I
It
think
could
I,
be.
I think we could win.
Well, yeah, we could. I think we're winning commentary.
Oh yeah, totally.
So
And I have a feeling that the other comment there might be from a certain Geelong skater saying, yes, come on, Bloody Marys. Pretty sure that might be hypodermic. Please correct me if I am wrong.
well, Mick has left the building, and
That's why I have a feeling.
and
that
if it is hypodermic, we should mention that they did win a raffle prize and that it's being looked after for them.
they did, someone other than who was on track during
Yes.
the game.
Yes, so because Mick's gone home.
Okay.
So there will be a prize to have.
Getting back to game at hand, we have that looks like Avalanche lining up for Geelong. And who is that?
I think it's Feral Ferret.
It is. It is indeed.
You know, both these teams are very well established teams, and and they're very much standard. Now, Ferret's shorts are cool. They got bumblebees on.
Did you see Isabella Legosi Geelong
Yes.
with the sparkly brand?
Oh yes, I can see Bella. Bella wasn't wearing those in Montcon though.
Probably not. No, why would you wear them in Moncton when you need to be the star of the show?
Yeah, well, this is true. No, and I'm liking 31 pancakes as well. And you know, we try and say it's the travel and accommodation that keeps us poor, but really, we just want to see all the pretty things, the sparkly things.
We're like magpies. Okay.
Realize we haven't even gone through the
I know.
rosters yet.
I know you jumped straight to the officials instead of going through.
Oh well, you know,
So
got to keep them happy.
we'll go through skating in white. We have the Bloody Marys from Geelong, 1-0 Lethally Blonde, 2 Dakota Boffer, 2-3-8 B Stand, 3-1 Pancakes, 4-4 Cyclo, 4-8 Hell's Bells, 5-1 Melonhead, 5-2 Slam Halen, 6-2 Eat Knievel, 8-3 Jackie Oh No 9-9 Morbid Murder, 1-1 Avalanche, and 1-9-1 Ballalagoosey.
Rightio. And skating in the black and yellow today, we have a 0-1 Freak Show Francis, 104 Daisy Chainsaw, 106 The Mad Splatter, 111 Slasher Scissorhands, 0127 Feral Ferret, 15 J Rex, 166 Birdie, 266 Beck, 42 Rebecca, 55 Snipples, 606 Icarus Smickerus, 814 OG, and 99 Gussie. Ballarat here that we're seeing playing, they actually were runners up in the tournament last statewide stampede.
They were indeed.
And it was quite memorable in because it was the 10th anniversary, like 10th birthday of statewide. And I wasn't around the game then, but I remember that there was a lot of hype because that was the very first grand final matchup.
Yep, it was.
So that was it was kind of like you couldn't have planned it that way.
Exactly.
All right. So we have,
A power jam here.
and Freak Show Francis has the lead.
Yeah. So Cyclo being sent to the penalty box.
And we're starting to see a lot of balls and lack of control on the track. And I think that's just because the track has been so used this weekend.
Well, also in regards to as the climate changes, it can
Yes.
affect the wood and everything
Yeah.
like that. Look at me talking about stuff that I don't really know.
But it is true because, you know, condensation and things like that. And also a lot of the skaters out on track here at the moment have not just been playing for their individual teams. Some have played on other teams and a lot have
Created.
officiated. So, you know, you think about doing being on skates for 2, 3 or 4 hours a day. It's and it's when you're tired and getting to the end of the day that it's just the way it is.
So we are currently on a power jam with Feral Ferret as lead. Cyclone has returned to track. Ballarat was set up ready for them.
And Cyclo's been recycled to the back of the pack again.
Nothing is trying to provide some offense there for Feral Ferret.
And pulling that one off before Icarus had a chance to get around and score any points. So we have Rat Pack on 16 and 5 on Geelong. As I said, it's been a big weekend down here in Geelong for roller derby, in that we've had 2 full days. And then at the end of June, we also have another 2 massive days down here at Leisuretime Sports Precinct. They will be the Oceania Regional Finals for the Woofter World Cup later this year. And Woofter is the main governing body of flat track roller derby.
Yes, they are.
And they will be teams playing for the right to represent Australia over at the Worlds.
Well, represent Oceania, because remember,
Oceania, yes.
we have New Zealand having a team.
Yes. I forgot. Don't tell them that.
There are enough Kiwi-orientated people who will probably be watching this. That
I know.
for you anyway.
They will.
I don't need to say anything.
No. But yeah, Oceania. But it just shows how big the game is.
Oh, it is incredible. I mean, let's just go to early June in regards to the Great Southern Slam.
Exactly.
The amount of teams taking part in that is incredible.
3 full days over 3 tracks. And the first 2 days, the last game is at 7, starts at 7.
You know, it's very much a case of this is the small year for TGSs.
Yes.
Previously, we've had up to 5 tracks in play.
Yes. And and last TGSS was the Oceania qualifiers
Exactly.
for the Worlds, whereas this time Division 1 will be basically the same teams that will be playing off for regionals. So it's kind of like a double header.
No, actually, it's not.
Isn't
Because a lot of the Division 1 teams that are going to be playing the Oceania regionals have opted to focus on regionals and not risk injury 2 weeks out.
Well, that makes sense.
Exactly.
That makes sense. It's but talking about international games, Victoria is a small state, but we punch way above our rate. I'm looking here, and in this auditorium right now, we have so many people that were at the men's flat track roller derby World Cup in Orleans in France last month. Oh, only a couple of weeks ago, actually.
So when we use the word men's for the World Cup, it is actually the mixed
Open gender.
It is a form of rule set rather than gender specific.
Yes.
So MRDA is a very similar game style to what Woofter is, but there are some differences. And so, yeah, it's just having that World Cup is under that rule set as opposed to Woofter rule sets, which we actually play here at Statewide Stampede.
Yes. And I'm just looking, because what do we have here? We have Rush, who played for Team Schmear Campaign, which was a borderless Jewish team. We have a Beasting, who has the amazing shorts, who along with May represented us on Team API Fury, which was Asian Pacific Islands. And then on the Wizards of Oz, which you wouldn't guess who that country is.
No.
But on the Wizards of Oz, which was our national team, we had Slender, who's been reffing and playing here this weekend.
I was so glad that Slender was playing Montfort. As I said to Slendy, nice seeing you play with the level of players that you need to play with. Eventually you might be a world champion speaker, but Good seeing you at ModCon.
Oh, it was really good. But we had a Bonnie who has benched countless teams this weekend, and she was the statistician with the most over there for Team Australia.
Chantave, who
Yep.
was on the bench for Kingston today.
And Jig.
Yep.
Jig. Who else? We have. I'm thinking I'm going to forget someone.
Well, Candy was here with us as an
Candy.
official,
And-
and they were the only Australian official. Although we are claiming Candy from New South Wales as a Victorian because they do come down and help us out so regularly.
Yeah.
Candy is one of ours.
Look, I've got family in New South Wales, so it's just
Yeah. She's one of us.
one of us exactly.
Speaking of East End, they had lead. They picked up a very quick 2 and calling it off.
So for a small state and a very niche sport, we really do punch above our weight.
Exactly.
And what people don't know is with the Wizards of Oz, that's generally generated out of Brisbane in the trial arts and things like that. Well, this year they were.
No, there was stuff happening in Victoria as well.
Well, that's good.
No.
But yeah, when you're like a country like Australia, and yeah, there was a lot of commitment to travel. All right. So who do we have out? We have Freak Show Francis out in lead, followed by Cyclo. We also had Brett from Crossroads Media who's taking photos here today. He was taking photos over in France.
Okay.
Because Brett's sister is Crash.
Okay.
So it's a very small world. Very small world.
Scores currently Geelong on 16, Rat Pack on 23.
I think this is going to be a jam by jam game, really.
It really is. It's like Rat Pack has had lead for majority of this game so far, but it's not a significant lead yet.
So,
And when Beeson is picking up lead, it really keeps that score nice and close.
and these are two very experienced teams, not only as experienced as players, but playing together regularly.
Exactly.
And I do know that Geelong and Ballarat will often come together and have a game, because, in Derby, what's an hour in the car?
Exactly.
To get game experience.
So we do have a slight cumulative score by Jan being shown on screen at the moment. And you can just see that there's spurts of exponential growth and then a closing of the gap. Avalanche picking up lead for Geelong.
Right. And,
We have had a star Snippings now with the star in hand.
and, I'd like to give a bit of a thanks to our hosting teams this weekend because there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, laying the track, etc. And that was our hosts yesterday were Geelong Roller Derby, and our hosts today are Kingston City Rollers. And you will notice if you're in the building, in light of Ida Hoppet Day, we have all the inclusion flags. I know Kingston City Rollers have done a tremendous amount of work in the Pride in Sports field, having taken out
That's one
first place. Yeah, first place, and that's been okay. So Freak Show Francis, followed by Cyclo. Yeah, so on Ida Hoppet Day, we've got the recognition. And
we've got Jammer and Jammer action.
We were missing that earlier today.
However, the camera was not actually on it.
I was calling the MudCon game earlier with Corey, and we both agree we want to see Mad Stacks and Prisoner when they're bouting, because their jamming style was so similar. We're thinking once they get to full contact, that's going to be a good one to watch.
Yes, very much so.
Oh.
very, very proud of the way that Prisoner played today. Prisoner is actually a good friend, so seeing them out there, and then also, as you said, seeing Mad Stacks with the same skate style, it's like, oh my god, you two.
It's like when you do this gig, you kind of get used to like pair ups, and you're like, yes.
Beasting out there, jamming again. Feral Ferret for the Rat Pack.
And Basting's pushing with. And okay, there was a
Multiplayer.
player on the Mad Splatter.
And I believe, cut track being given to Beasting.
Oh, which means lead's still open because it hasn't been called.
I believe so, yes.
Which means they've taken nearly a whole lap and we still don't have lead.
These two teams do know how to lock each other down very, very well.
Now, this is going to be really strange. What happens if we get into a second lap and no lead's been called?
Nothing.
We
It's just keep going. There we go. Vera Pearls making the toot for lead for Feral Ferret.
That was a hard fought lead. That
It
really
really
was.
Yeah, no, basically you just keep going until someone gets lead.
There you go.
Or the 2 minutes is up.
Not exactly sure.
Beasting back out and quickly through on their initial pass.
Yes, this has been a big weekend for some of our developmental skaters. We've had skaters that have debuted in full contact games. We've had skaters that have really stepped up in the ModCon.
We've had skaters returning from long injuries.
Exactly. It's
We've had officials returning from long injuries.
yes, we have. So,
Lots happening this weekend, definitely.
and it's the kind of thing, you have an injury and then you say, oh, I'm going to gym, and they're like, still in for that? Yeah.
Lots of questions on whether or not you're crazy for going back to a sport that hurt you in a certain way. It's like, well, what else are you supposed to do?
And if it was AFL, no one would bat an eyelid.
Exactly.
No one would bat an eyelid. And I must admit, learning blocking skills comes in handy when you work at the school.
Avalanche picking up 4 points there.
Like, yeah, no, you're not getting.
I appreciate the fact that Dags put their hand up when I know this call is going to be on me before the call even got made.
That was like Mick yesterday.
Exactly. I do appreciate blockers who are aware of oops, I made a whoopsie.
And I think that's one good thing about our sport, in that we are like, we're the first, like, if we do something and we know, we call it.
Yeah.
Because I think also we have so many players that officiate that they know they would,
Yeah. Or the other thing is, you kind of get used to having to self-report in scrims that it's like,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, because like when we train with our home team, with our home clubs, quite often there might only be one person doing reffing, doing innocent, like
Yeah.
there is. So it's like, but when you know you've done it, you go count to 30 slowly, So it does become a bit of a habit.
Look at that
Ooh.
on screen at the moment with the cumulative score in Jam. That lovely little exponential at the end of the graph showing the
Geelong.
catching right back up here. It's only a 4-point Jam difference.
Which that's like 5 seconds in Derby, really. All right. So Freak Show Francis just smashed her way through. We also have skaters just coming back from a long break. I know Bella's returning after having a break and moving and getting reestablished and all that sort of thing. Life. How rude it gets in the way of Derby, but but they've and this is their first year with Geelong Roller Derby. So not only coming back from, having a lot of time off, but debuting in
A different team.
a different team. All right. So Beastie, who was over in France, has now gone to the lead, chasing down by Feral Ferrets.
Oh, lovely little spin call off.
Yep.
Good track awareness,
Oh,
likely of where they were and where Feral Ferret was.
in the ModCon game, there's some amazing matrix toe stop work where they're just on their toe stops and their whole body. It's just, I really like seeing, because it's what people don't realize is toe stops aren't that big.
Exactly.
And we've on them and trying to not, and we've got momentum. So that was quite good. So Avalanche is taking the start for Geelong, and OG for the Rat Pack. Down around type 1. Turn 1 again seems to be the slippery turn again. It was turn 2 for a while in the earlier games, but it seems to have moved. But, as you said, weather conditions, heat,
All of that.
all that.
Says yes, today is quite cooler compared to yesterday in here.
Yes.
OG picking up lead.
And I don't think you're going to let me take your car home with the heated seats.
No,
Pick them
no.
off. Darn it. I was telling a friend of mine, like, I met up with some friends last night, and I was telling them about your car. And this friend of mine, he works at Ford. And I'm saying, well, this car, it doesn't have the heated seat. It has massage.
As I said, my car is stupidly overly luxurious and was not what I was intending, but I'm going to accept it for what it is.
Realize that no other car is probably going to ever add up to that.
Exactly. But anyway, keeping focus on Derby and not on vehicles. So let's face it, these wheels are the only wheels I really care about.
Well, this is true. And we have OG on in lead, which will be good.
Well,
And the Geelong pivot is paying up an empty bench, a bit of a visit. So,
OG currently on 12 points for this turn. Poor Avalanche has the star in hand, but as you pointed out, pivot in the penalty box, so can't really do the whole let's divide attention, because one important factor in the dividing attention was not there to divide.
exactly. Exactly.
Rat Pack just building that lead a little bit. It's now 46-27. So that's 19 points, yeah.
The maths is mathing today.
My brain is functional enough to math. We have Cyclo and I believe Freak Show Francis out there.
Yes. And you look at the score difference, but it doesn't really reflect because they're so even.
It swings and roundabouts, really. It's both teams are very hard fighting. Both teams are having successes at times. It's just one team is having a little bit more success when it comes to points on board.
Yeah, and I think it's just also who gets lead, who gets out of that pack first.
Yeah,
because they can
get that point.
like if when you get held up in a pack, it's really hard, especially when your other jammer is not held up.
Yes.
Oh, do you realise that we have only got 6 minutes left in this first half? This half has flown.
It has. There's been a lot happen, so that's part of the reason why it's flown. For just finding that outside line wide open to get through.
And Baystang's coming through. Was it you that I was calling with yesterday when we had 2 Beastings?
Yes.
Yes. As I say, that was a bit confusing, but yes, we only have one B6 today.
And we only have Kel's bells. We don't have Nell's bells.
Yes, this is true. This is true. And we don't have too many close numbers.
Yes.
But we are
It is 21 points the difference. No, hang on, not 21. What am I doing?
19.
still. I was saying my brain was mathing, now it's not.
Look, when it ends in a 5 and a 0, we're okay.
Cyclo up against OG. Cyclo getting to the front first to get lead.
And OJ is at has done their initial. So now on scoring passes. But if you're enjoying what you're seeing on your stream and it's something that you've just kind of fallen because sometimes ideas come up in your algorithms and your feeds and you think, oh, what's this? And you go bang. If you like what you're seeing, feel free to reach out to the teams. Most teams have socials, be it Instagram, Facey, what have you, and they will have their contact information, the come and dry
information,
come and dry.
or even upcoming events that they might be participating in.
Exactly. Like we have another full weekend down here in a month's time. That's really exciting.
I just noticed we do have Rebecca as lead out here for Rat Pack. Beasting is coming through for some points.
Oh, so now that's where it could get tricky because we've got Beck and Rebecca.
Oh, no. Trust me. You can tell the difference easily between Beck and Rebecca. Beck does not jam and has the robo visor.
I love the Robocop visors.
And then Rebecca, basically,
Yes.
also
Face glasses.
also phenomenal blocker. But yeah, when Rebecca is allowed to jam, it generally is a large jam.
Well, we're already 12 points on the board.
Yeah.
So, and another 3.
So that's 15 points by Rebecca right there. But that is what I mean by, trust me,
Yes.
I can't get the two of them confused.
No. Yep. I see you back there now.
Becky's very much, I am a blocker, I will hold the line.
But also an amazing ref.
Yes, definitely.
Has really focused on reffing and done an amazing job. And so we have Avalanche with the star for Geelong and Feral Ferret for the Rat Pack.
Ferret picking up lead.
Meanwhile, the Rat Pack are holding Avalanche quite significantly.
Two blockers remaining on track and slowing Avalanche right down. But they're Avalanche on their initial. Pancakes offering some offense to make it only one person for Avalanche to have to pass. Both jammers are right next to each other now.
Oh, yes. There's a bit of jammer on jammer action there. And
unfortunately did not go the way that Ferrell would have liked.
But they still got to call it off.
They did, however.
Geelong scored the points.
Exactly. So Geelong taking that jam 8-4. 51 Geelong, 69 Rats.
18 points.
Yeah.
So it's the division's been quite okay. So we have an official timeout up on
Track maintenance.
for track maintenance. This track has not only hosted 5 games yesterday and this being the 5th game today, we had VRDL also practicing. They came down to do a training session down here ahead of regionals. So getting the feel, because I know I was talking with Corey about this earlier, that you think flat surface and wheels, what's the difference? But
Lots of difference.
every surface that we skate on is different. And so VRDL, taking advantage of the fact that there was a track here all weekend, had an amazing kind of training, getting to know the floor, getting to know the group.
And that would be really beneficial to them because they normally train on concrete. So it is a very, very big difference.
Exactly. And yeah, so and that means that, moving forward, they can plan what wheels they're going to use. If they think I need to get different wheels.
So picking up lead very quickly. She trying to be not too far behind. Unfortunately, having to slow down a little bit. And that meant that the blockers all had a chance to get back up in front.
And OG chasing Cyclo down. All right. So that's going to be our half time.
I was just wondering if either team was going to call a timeout and try and get another jam in there, but I think both teams are at the stage where it's like, no, we actually need that breather.
Oh, we need a break because, we did have the official timeout.
Yeah.
So I was like, just keep that other one. All right. Well, we're going to be back in about 15 minutes. So I think I'm going to go and find my jumper and put it on, starting to cool down.
There's that rolling whistle. And when we come back, it's only 14 points the difference.
I know. It'll be fun. Back soon. are back for this second half of our final game of the weekend. This is our 10th game this weekend, and we've had 2 very full days of roller derby, with some incredible games and incredible matchups. We have a scoreline of Geelong on 55 and the Rat Pack are on 69. And I do realise no one has got the score 6-7 this whole weekend.
Thank goodness.
Oh, I know. I'm so over it. I work in a primary school.
Oh, God, you'd be hearing it all the time.
Oh, yeah. But last Christmas, our staff do like a Christmas video, and all our specialists, like art and things like that, they all dressed up and had 6-7s on their t-shirts. Like, really? All right. So we're just waiting to get underway.
Frank is getting into position, having done the rolling whistle. We will have OG and Cyclo to start us off in this half.
I don't know about you, but I'm really starting to feel the coolness of the cool weather.
Yes,
It's
yes.
really starting to come in.
Cyclo picking up with lead.
Yeah.
OG with star in hand.
A little bit of a apex jump there. Wasn't a big one, but just enough to get you through without having a cut track.
Exactly. Dakota Blocker going to the penalty box. Cyclo picking up another 4 points there. OG now currently out on their initial pass. So you might be about to get your 6-7.
No. Because it's going to be like, when I was talking.
Oh no, you're lucky. You're in luck. It was only 2 points given there, so it's 65 to 69.
I know when I was,
Just putting these here for muggles for later on.
we were talking, and I was calling with Corey, and every time they said something, it would change. So I almost jinxed myself there.
Did almost jinx yourself. I was kind of hoping that they got all 4 points there because that would have been fun. But
Look, I'll be back at school tomorrow, and I'll be in a class where, there's a couple of kids that kind of like to try and just do it to annoy you.
Yep.
And it's so hard to ignore it.
Just going to interrupt there. Beautiful position there from Gussie to open up the inside lane for Freak Show Francis to pick up 4 points.
So, yes, that's going to be a late night school night tonight. Okay, and we have one of our skating refs just adjusting their skates. We want them to be safe as well as our players.
Yep.
So we have Feral Ferret and Avalanche jamming this particular jam. It's actually really closed in because now we're only 8 points. So
I'm not quite sure how Avalanche's health is remaining on at the moment. However, they have picked up a ton of points, so they will be in the reach of the penalty box.
and as it happened before lead, we still have lead open.
Exactly.
And that Geelong pack is working extremely well at holding Feral Ferret's back.
The pair of Lethally Blonde and Melonhead were doing exceptional at that stage.
Exactly. And that's a pairing that often will be in the same lineup. So they're very used to knowing exactly how their locker is going to respond as well. we put a lot of trust in knowing that our teammates are going to be there, especially the lockers where you're not allowed to hold hands, but you know that they're on your shoulder.
Yeah.
And you know that they're going to be there if you need them. All right. So we are still at a 0 score and no lead.
Avalanche has rejoined gameplay. This,
Was a jam with no lead.
I was going to say, this is going to be a 2-minute jam, but
We're already there.
yeah,
And no lead gained in that game.
exactly. That is how fierce these two are blocking.
And they'll also be playing against the same teams in next month at TGSS. They are in the same division. So, okay. Having a few glitches. We have Cyclo and Feral Ferret jamming, and Cyclo has found that way through to obtain lead. And what some people at home may not realise is some of the skaters out there currently at the moment have not just played yesterday and now this game, but they've also on-skated refed many games and or backfilled other teams that have needed an extra skater. So the amount physical fitness of these people, like their aerobic fitness, is second to none.
Right. Just using the mad splatter out there, 106 for the Rat Pack.
And we're down to 3 points.
Yeah. I do know the mad splatter plays for 2 teams, so they will represent TRV and they represent Ballarat on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So, that's a prime example of what you were saying in regards to playing multiple times.
Yeah. And reffing is a different type of skating, and that's endurance because while lineups get a 2-minute break every so often, our refs don't.
Yeah. And it is very much stop-start endurance.
Yeah.
You might slow down because something's going on, but then you have to speed up and catch up again. And,
Exactly.
especially with the jam refs, quite often you've got that explosive speed that you've got to have.
Guess what? We've had a lead change.
We have indeed.
We've had a big lead change. That was a 24-point jam.
No. Relook.
27.
Exactly. You missed the 3 points going up right at the end.
27 points. And that is phenomenal, especially in a game where the teams are so closely matched skill and power
Not
wise.
just a lead change, but a decent lead change.
27-point lead change. I mean, and, at almost 6 o'clock on a Sunday after, 2 days of derby, to be able to pull that out is quite spectacular.
And yeah, just in regards to playing multiple games and everything, again, another example there would be Cyclo, having played the mod game as well.
Yes.
But then again, Cyclo does have a habit of basically, if anyone needs someone to skate, they will put their hand up and jump straight on.
And we've had that. We've had some of our officials even that don't normally play have played this weekend. Zarantula played in our mod con. So
Slendy jumped in and helped out.
in the mod con, that was
hilarious.
It was hilarious, but it was also a testament to the skill of Slendy as a player because
knowing how to adjust the level.
Exactly. And that can be really hard because your mind is in the game and your mind is like, I want to do this. And Spendy was one of our Wizards of Oz. So international player, still being able to bring it back down and play in the mod cons.
Yeah.
So the mentoring that our mod con skaters get by playing with these players is phenomenal. Right. we have a Beasting and OG. And Beasting has come through. However, OG is being held up by a very tight Geelong triangle there.
Little bit of confusion as to who needs to go and serve a penalty. It is Bella, so
So that was a multi, was it?
I didn't say hand action. I will just say I do give Bella a little bit of credence for how calls were made previously when they were skating. Very different to how penalty calls are made now, since we have adopted the whole
Name, not colour.
name not color side of things. So it does take a little bit of time to go, oh.
Exactly. And this is Bella's second or third game with Geelong as well. So getting used to that as well. And you'll notice we say Geelong and Rat Pack because, we can't really say Bloody Marys all the time, even though that would be good.
Oh. I do feel like a couple of people could have used one this morning.
Sorry?
I feel like a couple of people in the crowd could have used one this morning.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And greasy takeaway food.
Yes.
I mean, I made the mistake of I had a terrible night. I was having a terrible night's sleep and I looked up and it was just after 5. I'll get up and watch Eurovision. I have never watched. This was my first time ever watching Eurovision. And we still got duped. All right. So we have Avalanche and OG jamming again. And OG's being held up nicely. However, they were getting too far out of the pack, so had to call it off, as in the blocking.
Yeah. Since you can only go so far out the front.
Before you're out of play. And if you do that too much, then the refs get a bit grumpy. But no, we have been so lucky this weekend. We've had the wonderful Jen and Sports Connection Australia bringing you all the action in your lounge rooms through the amazing streaming setup. We've got lots of good gadgets and things like that here that we get to play with. And we've also had some amazing first aid today provided to us by St John Ambulance.
Who are currently sitting here going, what the hell is this for?
My gosh, they do this for pleasure. This was their first a derby hit out, and so a bit of a culture shock for them.
Yes.
So we have been educating them. So right, so yeah, it's a game that we cannot play without first aiders, and having dedicated first aid crew on a tournament.
I'm about to utter a couple of words here. Lead change.
Oh no.
2 points the difference.
If this is going to be another Australian Argentina, I don't know if I'm going to have enough energy. But for those playing at home, I'm not going crazy, but with our the Worlds in France, one of the pool games was Australia versus Argentina, 77-78.
Right down to the wire.
Like to the last second, it was kind of rolling whistle, and it was going up.
Sorry, Freak Show Francis. I keep forgetting they had the name change earlier. Picking up lead there, facing right behind. Lots of shuffling for position. Who was going to take the up top and who was taking the back?
And look, I suppose if we do have a game that's close, at least it's not 11 o'clock at night, and you've got to try and calm down and go to sleep.
Both teams are picking up 4 apiece there. 101, 103, 18 minutes remaining.
Oh. So we've got Cyclo and
Is that Ballarat again? I believe so.
I think so.
Looking at those shorts.
127. Yeah, Feral Ferret. See, this is why we like commenting on clothes.
It helps.
Clothes and helmets and skates. 'Cause
Helmet's not a good one to do
no,
because you never know when someone is going to be tricked into putting on a cover.
exactly.
And I do use the word trick. There has been times I have needed to do that to people. just hold it and then go on track. Oh, 5 seconds. You need to put it on now.
Alrighty.
Guess
So
what? Lead change.
again, this time Geelong has clawed back. This is going to be, well, if it's going to be like the Australian Argentina game and it's going to be that close, at least we're going to be hyped up for the drive home.
Yes.
Oh. But yeah, no, they're doing some pretty amazing skating at the moment. So we have Avalanche and OG being held up in the packs. Both defensive triangles are working extremely hard. Oh, and OG was successful in getting through just by the smallest of margins there. And Avalanche was recycled to the back of the pack. And a nice scoring pass there for OG. And this is literally going to be jam for jam.
At this stage, this one will put Rat Pack up a little bit. And then next one will be Geelong's.
Exactly.
Just by the way everything's going. Gussie trying to be last line of defense there, but Avalanche managing to get through.
And both teams currently have a player in the penalty box.
In a little bit of a micro pack situation.
All right. So Jay doing some more scoring. And although that was a 12-point jam
There was
for OG, there was 4 points for Geelong. So there is literally 6 points. Yeah. And being 20 past 6 on a Sunday, everyone's starting to get a bit tired, a bit loose, and a bit, oh, let's get there.
We've got Freak Show Francis. We've got Beast in. This should be fast.
Yes, we've had a lot of fast moving packs today.
Freak Show Francis picking up lead, looking to help cement that lead in the score as well.
And Basting just trying to find the smallest of. All right, that was a bit of a hi, how are you there? But
Jack's trying very, very hard to stop Freak Show Francis and then trying to offer offense for Beaston as well.
yes, no, we had. I don't think you'd arrived because you didn't get here for the first game this morning. No, in the East Vic and TRV game, the packs were extremely fast at some times. It was an incredibly fast moving game.
I'm just going to point out we've had a star pass from Geelong. So Dakota Blocker is putting the star on.
Yeah, I don't think that's their first time blocking this game.
Not blocking.
I mean jamming.
And taking the star, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 6:30 on a Sunday afternoon.
Okay. I was going to point out that no, literally, they have been doing their name, Dakota Blocker.
Yes, no. I realise it's been a long weekend. It really has. And we have a team timeout.
Yeah. I'm going to put some music on and we can have a little bit of a break.
Mhm.
We are about to get back underway again. Under 13 minutes remaining.
We'll see you on the day. All right, so we are back. We have just over 12 minutes left of this second half, and we have a Cyclo who has come out the lead for
Ooh, big hit
Geelong.
there from Morb. I'm going to say Morbs.
Lethally Blonde. Nearly
So Lethally Blonde tried, Morbs finished.
exactly, and almost took the race out.
Mm.
Which
But Morbs is someone I'm excited seeing back out on track. They had a very bad injury previously, so seeing them out there playing.
and that's always hard coming back from
Exactly.
coming back from an injury because a fear is there that never was there previously.
A little bit of confusion with what was happening there. I do believe the confusion was Icarus Smicarus did not realise a penalty had been called on them. So there was a few whistles happening and they are now going to set the penalty. Geelong almost beginning to field a jammer and Beasting taking the hit there and trying very hard and stumbling to get onto the line.
And we have OG who has flown out to lead in this. Well, that was a fantastic block there on Beasting.
That was Rebecca. We've got Sniffles as well.
Becker and Sniffle.
They are two skaters who played together for quite a while, so very well aware of what each other can do.
And also knowing that that's what they will do.
Yeah. We are starting to get a few penalties being called here. So one apiece in the penalty box at the moment. Jackie Oh No, living up to the oh no part of their name.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was, on the stretch home, we'll probably get a few penalties. Not basically because it is a high intensity game. Everyone's getting fatigued. The weather is changing, which means the track changes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So some of the control that the skaters have is not as controlled.
Yeah. I am going to interject and just say this tripod, Rebecca Sniffles, and then who was that last one? I think it's J-Rex. Really causing issues for Beasting out there.
Yes.
It's been absolutely beautiful. Rebecca has basically been on them the whole time.
And yeah, shut that ability to get through the pack down.
Has been basically like Rebecca's basically been that last blocker, and every time has managed to hold up Beasting enough until the others have been able to reform around. They have picked up a penalty this time around, but there's been some really good blocking out there from the three of them.
Exactly.
And that allowed it for their jammer, that was OG, I believe, to pick up 16 points there to 4.
So yes, it's yeah, you can we've got teams, and then we've got teams that have had got a well established a rotation, and yeah, when we pair them, they know they've got that knowledge of that person is going to be there. And we have Freak Show Francis taking on Ballon Head. It was almost like a bit of a dancing on ice there for a minute there. And Avalanches are working hard to get through.
Oh, lovely spin moves there. Almost a pirouette.
It's almost like a little cyclone. But it worked.
Could you say it's almost like the Cyclone Road ride, for which would be at a freak show? Yeah, that was a stretch. It was very, as you said, it's late. That was very much.
I said it yesterday that come this game, it's just going to be all over the place because we are tired. Our brains are tired.
We have done a lot for the weekend.
And it's funny, some people say, oh, what, you just sit there and watch it all day and call it. But there's a lot of knowledge that's in the brain and knowing what you can and can't say. And because those of you familiar with roller derby don't realise sometimes we're live into a venue like we are today, and other times we're only on the broadcast. And so what you can and can't say on the difference. Yeah.
And that, like earlier with having Eva Lovespring here as their first game commentating, that was one of the things where it's like, we're doing both. This is kind of the rules that you need to kind of play by. But at the same time, in the moment, sometimes you do forget.
You do. So
Cyclone with lead there. Feral Ferret is stuck at the back of the pack at the moment.
With that Geelong with Melonhead, Eve Knievel, and Dakota Blocker.
And Jackie Ono. Not to be outdone. Jackie's there as the pivot.
I know at TGSS, I've got a couple of live games, but then I've also got a couple of broadcast games. So I'm looking forward to that. And I've got the Div 2 Grand Final. And look, with at least 3 Victorian teams in Div 2, I really hope it's a Victorian Grand Final.
It'd be nice.
It would be nice. I mean, we've got Westside playing, and they were runner-up last time, I believe, or third or fourth. They got very close.
Well, their first game is actually against Westside at TGSS.
Your game?
No. Chico's first game, Div 2, against Westside.
That'll be a good one. We have a Beasting currently jamming for Geelong, and there has been a star pass. So we now have Birdie as a jammer for Ballarat. Yeah,
Birdie did actually start as a jammer and then transitioned into a pivot over the years. So it is a threat.
Yes,
a big threat when Birdie gets given the start.
Yes.
Sometimes you feel like, the pivot doesn't necessarily need to be knowledgeable in how to jam. That is 100% wrong.
I was going to say they're often the sleeper agent.
Exactly.
Especially if it's a team that you have not played against a lot, like in a major tournament, to have someone like that. So we have Freak Show Francis with just over 5 minutes left of this incredibly tight game. We're out to 29 points. But as we've seen, we've had 28-point jams. So it's anyone still. But, yeah, Div 2 is going to be interesting from a Victorian team perspective because...
I just like that. Just watching Freak Show Francis, that was very much, I've put up enough points. I am tired.
Someone else can do it.
I'm going to be safe, but I'm also going to waste as much time off the clock as I can before calling it.
Yes, yes. No, because I know the Victorian division in TGSS is a lot. We've got some very strong teams that have come up through this competition. And we have Chico Rollers, who won statewide last year. And then we've got, oh, that is Feral Ferret, who has obtained a lead. But as well as having the Chico Rollers, we have Westside and Kingston. And for the 2 years previous, they played off for first and second.
Yep.
So they're all very successful players in this league. And Feral Ferret's kind of done the same thing. I think we're just, we got 3 minutes 50 on the clock, which still could be 3 jams.
You know, in the last game, there was just over a minute left on the clock, and I said, this is potentially, and then within 30 seconds, they had called
The
it.
official town out.
There was a timeout and another lineup.
Oh, that was on when I could have said 6.
Beasting at the front of the pack.
And that triangle is so just.
It is, again, that whole Rebecca, J. Rex, and Staples.
And Jackie Ono came in and did a bit of a push, which sent them to the bin. However, tried to allow Beasting to get through, and Beasting's been recycled to the back of the pack.
Sometimes there is such a thing as a tactical penalty.
Yes, especially if you haven't had a lot of penalties.
Yeah. It's never done maliciously, but sometimes you just need to take a hit or give a hit to get your jammer out. We have had a star pass. Dax does have the star in hand for Geelong.
And they'll apparently have 2 players in the bin at the moment, so very much.
Well, Sniffles was still causing issues before Dax, slowing them down so then reinforcements could arrive. But unfortunately, when you are the only blocker for the team on track, it does become hard, and Dax picks up points for it.
Exactly.
So Slasher is now returning to help out. OG has been held up a bit there. Right, Jack Beasting and Jared.
Yeah.
Dax just looked at the clock and went, I've got to put the motor on. Unfortunately, Jam being called off before Dax could hit the pack again.
So we've got 1 minute 25 on the clock. But that does not mean that this will be our final jam, because
No.
literally
The word potential comes into play again.
potential and yes. So I think everyone's getting to that. That's right. I bumped the mic. As I say, everyone's getting to that point. It's like, oh, we got another 2 minutes. So we have Cyclo who's leaped out. We have a 36-point difference.
I would say Cyclone would make 36 points in a minute, but Friction Francis is right behind, so
Exactly.
it's going to be more
And-
bad.
Exactly. And,
And here we go. We will get another jam.
exactly.
So as an explanation, as we were saying earlier, in regards to how it works in roller derby, if there is under 30 seconds left on the period clock and the lineup clock won't match, so the full 30 seconds lineup period won't be able to be completed in that period of time, we won't have a jam unless action is taken. And that is
A
a
timeout.
timeout or an official review being called, which will then cause another jam to occur. So you will see a lot of the times when there's like 2 seconds left on the clock, frantic hand signals coming from the bench going, timeout, timeout, timeout.
It's like,
Trying to get,
oh,
to get one more.
we haven't used our review. Let's just try and use that. So, but like,
Its period clock is on 0, which means we are on the jam clock now. Basically, the jam clock is the one that we pay attention to in terms of
And
being able to complete a jam.
And this is our final jam now that the period clock has run down. And so it's just going to be a matter of,
When Ballarat decides to call it,
yeah,
because they have picked up lead, so they are in control of the clock. They have definitely won the game at this stage.
exactly. But it really only was in the last 5 minutes that that gap really opened up.
And the reason why they haven't called it straight away is because of the way that statewide works. Having a large score differential works in your favour when it comes to positioning at the end of the year.
Yeah. Very much so.
So they will be trying to pick up as many points as they can in the 2 minutes. They are currently on a power jam. Dakota Blocker is sitting as jammer. They did take the star. The star is in hand.
That was a fair hit. And with that,
They've called it off.
they've called it off.
There was only 4 seconds left on the jam clock, so
Yeah, so it was going to come anyway.
yeah.
But we have an official score of Geelong on 137
Currently sitting at unofficial.
at unofficial. That's correct. Until we have the rolling whistle.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing weekend.
There's been so many amazing plays out there over the weekend from players of all levels.
Yes, yes, and
I mean, you mentioned earlier in this game talking about the mod skaters with like Prisoner and Mad Stacks against each other. You know, as ModCon skaters, phenomenal. And then looking through at this game where it was so close for the majority of the game.
it was, and we now have the final whistle and the final official score. On behalf of a Statewide Stampede and your commentary team, I'd like to thank everyone for listening and our hosts this weekend, Geelong Roller Derby League and Kingston City Rollers, and our amazing Jen at Sports Connections Australia for being able to bring you this wonderful.
Also, a very big thank you for everyone who has officiated over the weekend. As you mentioned earlier, all volunteers, and we cannot play derby without them.
And also our vendors and etc. They pay a fee.
Vendors, first aid, our media teams. It's just
It
so,
is.
so much goes on behind the scenes, and we are grateful to everyone.
We are. And on that note, we are going to say a goodbye. We will see you next round, though you may hear us
Both
From-
of us are commentating at
TGS, the
yeah.
TGSS, which will be rather exciting.
yes.
Um,
So much derby happening that weekend.
oh, I know. It's going to be my first one.
I love TGSS so much. It's
Everyone's told me, so I'm rather excited for that. But our next statewide round is in July.
exactly. And
So-
that will be big because there's going to be so much learning from the various teams. So there could be lots of new things to try out, and
Can't wait. All right. Well, I'm going to say a fond farewell. I'm going to say to all of those in the venue currently to have safe travels back to their home destinations. Some people have got, we've got players that are going back to Gippsland tonight.
Yep.
I myself going to the Mornington Peninsula.
I'm out
We-
in the east.
We've had some people down from Mildura, across from, so there's all,
New South Wales.
Yep.
They're back today.
yep, and Rockabellas.
Yeah.
So we've had, we've got players from all over the place, and there's a lot of driving and a lot of dark driving.
Yes, very much so.
So stay safe, and we will talk to you soon.